How much money do you make?
Right now we're doing about 125 to 150,000 a month.
Really? How long have you been doing this?
Almost 2 years, about a year and a half.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do?
So I do exotic car rentals.
Exotic car rentals.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
So I get cars, exotic cars, usually, valued at over $200,000 per car, and I rent them out for minimum $1,000, $1,500 a day.
So like Ferraris, Rolls Royces,
Yep.
G-Wagons, I'm
Yep.
assuming.
I have 3 Cullinans, I have 2 G-Wagons,
Ooh, Cullinans,
I've got
wow.
6 Huracans, got a Ferrari F8, Ferrari California, I've got 2 Bentley trucks, Maybach sedan, 3 Urises. I mean, I kind of lost count at this point.
Okay. And you just rent these out to people like on vacation out here. We're in Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you even buy that many cars? Like that's like millions of dollars of cars.
So at first I was buying these cars myself. The issue is like when you're putting $50,000, $60,000 down on a car and you're trying to get 2-3 cars a month, your capital kind of gets tapped pretty quickly. And so does your credit.
Yeah,
Credit's a huge part of this business. But at the same time, I was building my personal brand and I started growing pretty well. I live in Brickell. I'm in a pretty affluent area.
Yeah.
I live in the SLS Lux, so I have there's a lot of like
You're
high
just
net worth
around it,
guys.
yeah.
Exactly. I'm around a lot of pretty high status people. So I started getting a lot of investor interest. And at that point, people were just throwing me cars. I got a Urus from my boys. One of my other boys bought me a Urus. And then from there, I was like, man, why am I buying these cars myself when it's literally so easy to get cars from people? I should just take these. I should just get investors to buy me cars. And
People bought you cars.
people all the time. If I showed you my DMs right now, you would not believe how many
Like people are trying to give you cars.
every single day.
That's crazy.
So like, I probably have like 5 messages a day. Hey bro, what car do you need? Hey bro, I want to get a G-Wagon. Can I toss it with you? Hey bro, I want to get a Urus. Can I give it to you?
Are they trying to like buy it and then like give it to you for like 15 days out of the month and then maybe they drive it on the weekends for like a date or something?
Literally.
Is that it?
Yeah, like literally they might use the car maybe 3 to 5 days a month.
Gotcha. But
And
they
I'm-
just like it for like a nice occasion or if they need it. But for the most
Exactly.
part, it's with you. And I'm assuming you're like splitting the revenue or something.
So I do 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I buy you a F8 Ferrari, you'll just handle it. You'll rent it out 20 days out of the month.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it rent for like one day?
1,500.
For an F8?
Yeah.
How much is an F8 like to buy?
Right now, you can get like a 2021 F8 with like pretty low miles, 8,000, 10,000 miles for like 320, 330.
So like a $300,000-ish car rents for out $1,500 a day.
Mm-hmm.
How much would do you typically rent that out in a month? How many days?
The F8 has done the most out of any cars I've ever had. The first month we got that in December from one of my boys, it did $33,000 in revenue.
Damn.
So 16,500 each. And his payment on that car is $5,500.
Damn.
So he pocketed 11,000 profit. He has 3 other cars that he has a Urus S. He just bought an SVJ. I mean, he's got a crazy car collection. He has 2 cars with me, a STO and an F8 Ferrari. And I mean, yeah, he's killing. I wire this guy like 30,000-40,000 a month.
That's insane. I actually had no clue it was like that profitable.
Oh yeah, but
Is there risk? I assume
so honestly, when you know what you're doing, there's very little risk. We don't rent anybody that doesn't have insurance, and they need to have the right coverage on their policy to rent vehicles. And if they have that on their policy, then we're always going to be covered.
what is that? What's the term for that? Like
Rental coverage.
so rental coverage and is it like a special type for like supercars or is it just a certain amount?
So some insurance policy or some insurance companies, the car that you have on your policy matters. So they'll only cover up to that value. So if you have an M3 on your policy with 70,000, you're trying to rent a Huracan for 200, that's worth 250,000.
Yeah.
I'm only going to be covered up to 70,000 if something happens.
Oh yeah.
So in that case, I'd usually just turn down that rental because
Gotcha.
if that car gets into a full write-off accident, I'm pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But most insurance companies actually will just cover up to $500,000, up to $1 million in coverage.
Even if they have like a pretty normal car at home
Yeah.
and you can just like, is it like on their card? Do they have like an insurance card and you can just like, can you check that?
Yeah, so I have a guy that works for me. He does all my insurance verifications. So when somebody let's just say you wanted to rent a Ferrari F8 for myself, you would send in your driver's license and your insurance card.
Okay.
I would send it over to my guy. He would call in to whatever insurance company you have. And
Okay.
He would run your policy. So he would basically ask all the necessary questions. He records the phone call. And if everything comes back as a yes, then I'm good to rent to you.
How much does that guy charge you for that?
I pay him monthly or yearly. He's on payroll.
Payroll?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like a few thousand a month or?
Yeah, he does pretty well. 5-6K a month.
Nice. Okay. That's not too bad.
And he does
He'll
my
do
dispatch
all your
work.
cars.
All my cars.
Yeah.
He also does all my contract work. And then he also does some dispatch. So dispatch is just picking up and dropping off cars.
Oh, okay. So you don't
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah, I pretty much have this business automated. Like I'm going down to Scottsdale tomorrow, and I'm going down. I'll be out in Miami for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And My business will not be affected whatsoever.
So can one guy handle all the pickups and drop-offs typically?
No,
Okay,
that's the issue.
Yeah,
I usually have about 2 guys that do that. I have one guy. I usually charge about $100 delivery. So
okay.
I've got a lot of like, I live in, so we have a full valet team. And sometimes when these guys aren't working, they want to do stuff for me. So I'll just give them the delivery fee and then they'll just cover their own Uber.
Oh, nice. So you kind of have like
$80.
Do other people like have like eventually you have to get like a warehouse or something? Is that like the ideal location?
So I've looked into warehouses. I've looked into nice showrooms. The issue is like, man, I'm paying $150 a month per car right now.
Yeah.
So my overhead is nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Versus a showroom, like a nice showroom, especially with 25 cars.
A month, yeah.
20, 30,000 a month.
Yeah.
Easily, And I love where I live because it's so central. A lot of people, like Brickell is such a hot spot. So people just come, and it's such a great area for people to pick up cars and drop off cars.
Do you think this would work in many other cities?
I actually do. So I actually have a coaching program. And I've got a lot of students in other cities. I've got a student in Chicago, LA, Indiana. Actually, he just got his first car. He got a C8.
I'm interested to hear how that goes.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. I'm from Kansas City, and I actually used to shoot music videos, and there was just no ability to rent like a Lamborghini for one of my artists. So I do think it would work, to be honest.
And that's why I love this business model. It's so untapped. Obviously, Miami, hottest city in the world for exotic car rentals because it's Miami, right? But in other parts of the world, a lot of people don't think a business, or they don't think of this type of business as a business that can make them a lot of money. Whereas like a city like Kansas, I bet you there's nobody doing this.
There's no, like, the best thing you can get is a Corvette.
Yeah.
Best thing.
And obviously those cities are a little more seasonal. So like, a car that I drove the Huracan Spider over here today.
I heard it. I was like, I
bet
he's here.
It's a loud car. But that's a car that I don't think would do well in Kansas just because it's so seasonal, right? So you might get
6 months of snow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe like 3 really good months in the summer, and then it's going to be really, really slow. So for my students that are in, very seasonal cities, I always recommend they get like Suburbans, Escalades, even Maybachs, like if they want to go more luxury.
Or G-Wagon, yeah.
G-Wagon, great car, like cars that can withstand that kind of weather.
Gotcha. So do you feel like it's competitive in Miami then, if it's like a hot spot?
Super competitive. But at the same time, it's not that competitive.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that do exotic car rentals. There's probably like 50 companies. If you were to search exotic car rentals Miami, I bet you could find over 50 companies that offer exotic cars. A lot of people don't do it right. A lot of people don't know how to do the insurance properly. A lot of people don't know how to send out the right contracts. They don't know how to. 99% of people don't know how to do the right marketing. They don't have any personal brand. All of their clients is just from word of mouth.
Right.
And they have maybe a 3-4 car fleet, and that's it.
Gotcha.
So
it's like Little League, just not
exactly
systemizing. Okay.
Exactly. I like to think I'm in the MLB, and in the MLB, there's myself, MPH Club. I would say definitely there. MVP, Miami Luxury Cars. Those are probably like the 4. And everybody else is just Little League.
But you started like less than 2 years ago, and you're in 6 figures a month. That's pretty cool.
Started with 2 cars. Started 2 BMWs on Turo. I had no idea how the exotic car rental game works.
Is that where all these are listed, Turo?
No, privately. Okay. I don't use Turo at all.
So you used to use Turo. Why'd you get away from Turo?
Terrible platform.
They take a lot?
They take a lot.
Do they side with the customer more often, you think?
Depends. I had to open one claim on Turo. It was actually my first rental ever with my Maserati. And they actually paid out the next day. No questions asked. So that was nice.
Okay. So they had your back there too.
Yeah, but I've heard horror stories.
Why'd you move away then?
The fees, terrible.
Yeah.
Prices are very saturated. Everybody's undercutting one another.
Yeah.
Another thing is for clients, like we get a lot of clients that want to pay Cash App, Zelle. We actually don't get a lot of credit card paying customers. Like we do have, a lot of.
Do you take crypto?
We do take crypto.
Smart.
I took Sol on the weekend.
Nice.
For a rental, yeah.
Makes sense in Miami too.
Yeah, but that was when Sol was at $180 and now it's at $130. So
hey, you got
a discount.
Hold that for 3 years. Yeah,
exactly.
Hold that for 3 years though, and you might 10x that.
Oh yeah, I want more Sol. If anybody's watching, I take Sol.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Okay, interesting. So now what do you host it on?
So we just do private rentals. So Instagram's a huge driving traffic for me.
Do you have like a mini chat automation set up for Instagram, or you're just on it?
I have somebody that's on it all the time. And the trick is we work with a lot of brokers. So brokers will send us clients. We get them like a wholesale rate. They'll go charge $100, $200 on top and get that car rented.
So there's just people in the city who just middleman. Yeah. I got a client coming in. Are they like hosts, like a Miami host?
Exactly.
Basically?
They're like luxury concierges.
And that's kind of a thing in Miami.
Huge thing. Yeah. That's a huge industry.
That's smart. So you just kind of network with people who do that for a living, and they're basically like putting an itinerary for high net worth individuals for the weekend, right?
For real. Like I know one of my buddies, he's a huge promoter out here. I mean, the guy drives an SV Roadster. he drives a $500,000 car and he's a promoter.
That's
but
crazy.
he gets the kind of clientele every single weekend that comes in and they'll drop $100,000 on the table. They'll go to Kiki and he's getting 10%, 15% commission every single weekend, you know, like
that's a good line of work if you're good at it.
And he's always partying.
Yeah.
He's always with beautiful girls. He's always partying.
That is his job.
You know, it's not the worst life. That's for sure.
For sure. And they get tips at the end too. Yep. I can't imagine, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's
and
cool.
Imagine that guy's network too. So the future opportunities he's going to get, investment opportunities, business opportunities. I mean, his clientele are, you know, multi-millionaires. He's going to get insane opportunities. And I'm sure he's had insane opportunities, which is why he's driving an SV Roadster. He's got a Urus. He's got a Brabus G-Wagon. I mean, he's got everything.
Damn, Brabuses are sick.
Sick.
So you're not from Miami. How did you, first off, how do you get customers? Your personal brand on Instagram?
Yes.
And then you have the brokers, the luxury hosts that will kind of find deals for you, and then middleman.
Website. We get a lot of clients through.
You have a website?
Yep.
How are you sending traffic? Just those two still?
Yeah, we don't run any ads. Our SEO is actually not bad. We haven't really like worked on it.
Yeah.
But naturally, it just grew.
Yeah.
From like myself being featured in different YouTube videos.
Yeah. Backlinks.
From different blog posts being written about us. From, you know, all these different things.
Where do you host your website on? Like what website builder did you?
I think it's Squarespace.
Squarespace? Is it like a template for car rentals?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So it's kind of the website. What information's on the website? Just like a brief description and then just like pictures of your cars?
Exactly.
Is availability on there?
No.
Okay.
So we're actually building another website right now that's going to have availability.
Gotcha.
So when you select a car, it'll show you the, you know, like Airbnb, it'll show you the available dates and stuff like that. So we're building that out right now. We want to build a website where clients can actually go and just book directly from the website.
Yep.
The issue is, you know, we still have to verify insurance and stuff like that. So my idea for it would be like, if you wanted to book a car through our website, you would just submit a photo of your ID, photo of your insurance. It would go to my guy, Lewis. He'd call in and then give you a call and say, hey, you're good to go. And then
do you have that built yet?
Not yet.
Do you have someone that's building it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's like where you're headed towards. And that'll help you scale, probably just tie up any loose end you really have and like be fully
100%.
automated. Yeah.
100%. But I do think the social media is the name of the game. I mean, I have two pro athletes as investors. One plays for the 49ers and one played in the NBA for 3 years. He plays overseas now. Both of them DM me on Instagram directly. Hey bro, I see you're killing it with exotic cars. I have a car. Are you interested? One of them already had a G-Wagon and he gave it to us. I actually just got that like a week ago. He just left to go to San Fran for the off season. But the other guy actually hit me up. He said, what car do you need? So him and I were chatting and then he just bought a Maybach S580, wired the dealership and said, it's ready, go pick it up.
I wonder if people stay away because it feels risky. Like I'm worried like a rock will dent the car. That's pretty inconvenient. The value is going to go down if these cars have like any imperfections because people look at the report.
For sure.
Is that just what you have to kind of live with?
Not really. Like when you have a really good body shop connect, you get everything so cheap. I had a massive dent on one of my Cullinans when it came back from rental, like a huge dent, dude.
The last car you want that to happen.
Legit, I thought I was gonna have to replace the panel, like everything. Took it to the body shop. They took the panel off. They took the dent off. Rewrapped the car. Repainted it. It's like $800.
What?
Yes.
Shout out to
I
them,
went
bro.
to the dealership.
Oh, dude, you're dead.
15K.
They might ban you from buying a car ever again.
No,
dude.
legit. Like probably like 10, 15K.
That's insane.
So if you have good body shops, like I do all my servicing through body shops as well. They do a really good job. I get everything so cheap. So I'm also sending them volume. You know, we don't deal with a lot of accidents. I've never had a full write-off accident, thank God. I've never even had a big accident. I've had small like fender benders. Where I've had to open small minor claims. I send it to the body shop, couple grand, car's back on the road in a few days, and then insurance pays out, you know, 2 months later.
That's not bad.
A nice amount.
Do you have anxiety? I feel like my anxiety would just go through the roof.
It's a high stress business.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everybody. You know, when I have $5 million worth of cars on the road at one time, knowing that I could get a phone call at any point that 5 of them just got in total accidents.
Hit each other.
Yeah. I mean, I get groups of people that rent cars all the time. So they'll take 3 cars and they're driving, you know, next to each other, behind each other. I mean,
recording it.
No, exactly.
Other people looking at the car is probably more dangerous
Oh,
than the people driving.
Oh my God. These cars get so much attention, man. I have a purple STO.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God, dude. You drive down the street, you're breaking everyone's neck, man. Everyone's phone's out. Even this Huracan, like even in Miami, right? You see Lambos all the time.
Yeah.
I see like 10 Uruses in any given day.
Exactly.
But people are still like mesmerized when they see Lambos. Like just driving here, you know, it's a loud car. It's a Spider that I pulled up in, an Evo Spider. So it's a nice car. It's loud. But man, everyone's phones
They're
always
definitely
out.
the most identifiable. Like if there's a
Yes.
supercar that's like, it just looks like a supercar. It looks exotic.
100%.
So I want to take a step back then. So your main way of getting customers is your personal brand,
Yes.
right? And so when you were starting out and you were just on Turo, is that when you started your personal brand?
A little bit.
Okay. How does that evolved? And then basically tell me the light bulb moment you had with like personal brand is the way to go with customers.
For sure. I mean, my personal brand really started blowing up. Obviously came off Turo. I started just networking, man. You know, a lot of my friends that live in the same building as me, like I didn't know them when I first moved down here, but I knew of them. These are guys that I watched on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
Like Neil, Timepiece Trading. That's a guy I was watching on YouTube for years. And now that's like one of my really good friends. You know, like
dope.
we did a YouTube video together. Like we send each other clients all the time.
Nice.
I mean, that's like one of my boys. Walter from Fresh and Fit. Same thing. You know, that's like literally a guy that I'm with almost every other day now. Like one of my really good friends too.
Huh.
So
you're not from here?
I'm not from here, no.
Okay, interesting.
From Canada.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you, I just can't believe you went from like literally not even living here to now a 6-figure car rental with this network and all these, a repair place.
Yeah.
You have like the whole team, everything.
Yeah.
So how did that evolve? If you just started with a Maserati and 2 cars on Turo, what was kind of like the
breaking point?
When did you go pro? Like what took you pro?
So this is an interesting story. So I had a client that was renting, me and my business partner had an M5. He was renting the M5 every month. He lived in our building. One day he hits me up out of the blue. He goes, yo, one of my boys is looking to sell his exotic car rental company. Are you interested? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm interested. Puts me in a group chat with him. You know, he's kind of telling me, look, I want to keep he had like 5 cars. He had like a couple Cullens, a Dawn, Huracan. And for me, I didn't have those cars. I obviously wanted those cars to be part of the package. He was like, look, I'm not willing to throw the cars in, but I'll sell you my brand name. I spend, you know, X amount every month on my SEO. Like I've got a pretty big brand. It was a pretty good price. I think it was asking like 40, 50,000. But I was like, man, I really wanted to build my own brand. You know, I didn't really want to take over somebody else's brand.
Wait, it was 40, 50,000 for a luxury car rental brand?
Just a brand, just his Instagram handle, just the website. Like it didn't come with any cars. So I could have rebranded myself as Lux MIA, which was that was the name of the company. And I could have just put the cars that I had in that fleet, you know? So,
gotcha.
Yeah, because I didn't really have a big brand back then. Nobody really knew.
Yeah, so
Luxury
he had like 4 or 5 cars that you could have like. Did you get the cars, or do you literally just got the brand name?
Just the brand name.
The built-up socials with the following, a little bit of relevance.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay.
So I told him, look, I really wanted to build my own brand, and I believed in myself. I knew I could do it. And so I said, look, I'm not really interested in purchasing your brand, but what would it take for you to come on board as an advisor, as a mentor, and just teach me the whole private exotic car rental game? Because I knew he was only doing private rentals, right? I was only using Turo, and I really wanted to get into private rentals, and I knew that was like the moneymaker in Miami, but it's such a hard thing to get into if you don't know how to get into it. So many little secrets that people just like keep to themselves.
Yeah.
So I paid him $15,000. He came on board as a mentor. I remember he vividly told me that I would probably make that money back within 2-3 months. I made that money back within 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was literally for 6 months on Turo, my business growth, I was just kind of like this. The minute he came on board, it was just like an upward trajectory. Like
what were like the main things that changed?
Taught us he plugged us in with his entire broker network, relationships that he had been building over for years. So all these guys like, you know, really
so worth it.
Yeah, really respected him.
He paid for the network.
Paid for the network, paid for his body shops, paid for, I mean, he taught us everything, what kind of contracts to use, how to do insurance verifications the right way. And then, dude, that was last March. So that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Within 3 months, I went from 3 cars to, I think, 12 cars.
Damn. So you bankrolled the first 3.
Yes.
Yeah. How much did you have to put down for that?
So I had an M2 on a lease. I put $0 down.
An M2?
Yeah, an M2 competition.
Yeah.
That car was my dream car back in the day. Like I cried when I got that car.
Yeah.
But I was able to get that car. I cried. I got a $0, 0 down, like 2% interest, like crazy race.
How?
2021.
Yeah.
Everything was
money
so
wasn't
low.
real, bro.
Yeah, literally money wasn't real. So I was paying like $900 a month for that. My business partner had an M5 competition, so he brought that car, and then him and I bought a Maserati in cash together. So we put like $30K each down for Maserati.
That was like the big investment.
That was the big investment. Yeah.
Wow. And then how much were you renting that out for?
We were doing the M2 was cheap, like $150 a day on Turo. The M5 was going for like $250, $300, and then the Maserati like $250.
Is there like an average that you could say like 15 days out of the month is like a pretty safe bet? 20?
Yeah, I would say 15. I mean, I have cars that kind of sit. Like my lower end cars, I don't really move that well. For some reason, my clientele is literally just ultra high end luxury exotics now. Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, I make way more money. Yeah. So I have like I've got like a C63S, I've got like an Aston Martin Vantage, I've got a C8 Corvette. You know, and these are cars I really don't really push them out that much. But man, the Huracans, the Uruses. My Urus is on a 5-day right now. My Cullinan is going out on a 6-day today. STO just came back from a 1-day. I have a purple Huracan Evo out on a 1-day. I mean, I've got S580 Maybach.
So
out
you
on
will
a
do a
month.
1 day?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do hourly too.
Really?
Yeah.
But you charge much more, I bet, per hour.
Yeah.
What's the bet? Like, what would be like the ideal? Like 3 days? Is there a sweet spot?
3 days is awesome.
Yeah. And anything over that is like amazing. Like
Anything over 3 days, I have to give a discount, like a nice discount. So like
yeah.
if you wanted to rent a Huracan for a week, I'd give you a nice discount. Like usually
Gotcha.
like 40% off, 30%
oh
off.
damn. So that
Yeah.
6-day Cullinan was like what? Like 10 grand, 8 grand?
I usually rent a Cullinan for like 1,400. I think we gave it to him for like 1,000. 6 grand.
Yeah, 6 grand for the damn. That's 6 grand for a week with the car is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have a guy right now. He has my orange Lamborghini Huracan Evo, S580 Maybach, and Ferrari F8.
He has them all.
For a month. Guess how much he wired me this month? I gave him really good discounts, but
70 G's.
a little bit less. Around 50, 60 G's.
You're a good guy for that.
No, I hooked him up. One of my boys.
Yeah.
One of my boys.
Gotta help your people, man.
Exactly. But I mean, bro, these cars I have no liability on. I don't pay for the monthly payment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay for the maintenance. I don't pay for anything.
Do they accept the risk that a renter might, like
Oh, yeah.
they're fully aware?
Fully aware.
So you that's crazy.
And they know that stuff might happen, and they know, that could happen at any given moment for sure.
How many cars do you think you could handle?
The most I've ever had was like 35. And
So you've gotten rid of some.
I felt a lot of pressure at 35
Mm.
because, I don't know. It's just a lot of cars to manage.
Yeah.
And we had at that point, we had a lot of lower end cars that I was renting for like $400 a day.
You're just getting rid of the
$500.
bottom.
Yeah. I'm not really interested in making like $200 a day, $300 a day. I'd rather make, 500 plus a day.
Interesting.
So now it's like, that's kind of where I'm at, which is awesome.
Okay, so the biggest needle mover was paying an advisor to connect you with the network.
100%.
Brokers, insurance people, and body shops, basically.
And attorneys.
Attorneys.
Huge. We
Why?
have such good claims attorneys. So if you crash my car, for example, and I have to open a claim, I don't deal with that claim myself. I hand it over to my attorneys. They take 10% and they do their job well. So
Are they on
everything over.
retainer or is it case by case?
Case by case.
Yeah, it's just a percentage of the.
Exactly.
Okay, smart.
But they're pretty exclusive with who they work with. Like
Yeah.
You need to have a pretty big fleet for them to.
So these are like lawyers this is their thing.
This is a thing.
Like
They're literally
exotic rental car
claims attorneys.
Claims attorneys.
So they kind of middleman. They'll just fight with the insurance. They'll write up the accident report. They'll write up the demand letter, and they just they really go for as much as they can.
So what is like how many like full-time employees do you have? Just the insurance guy basically?
No, I have an assistant. She's full time. I have my insurance guy. He's full time, and then that's pretty much it. I have like 3 other guys that kind of just work on a day by day basis. So I have like a lot of cars going out one day. I'll just hit them up. Hey, a couple deliveries. They'll call
like
me.
on call basically.
On call.
Yeah.
So my expenses are like nothing.
Mm.
Like my expenses every single month, like literally 10K a month in expenses.
And you're pretty much doing everything through your phone now.
Everything.
Like you don't have to go show up, drop off a car.
Never.
If there's damage, you don't have to really you have somebody to go deal with that, take it to the body shop.
100%.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what was the personal brand play here? Like how does someone make a personal brand on car rentals? Like what's the content you're making?
So I realized I had an insane opportunity because these auto car rentals, everybody knows of it,
Yeah.
but not a lot of people know of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people know what it is, people know it exists, but there's if you said, like, if I asked you, who's the biggest exotic car rental figure in the world?
No clue.
No idea.
Yeah.
But like, who's the biggest crypto figure in the world? You could probably tell me a couple
Yeah,
names.
for sure.
Who's the biggest, e-commerce guy? You could probably tell me some names.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, man, like I'm in the hottest city in the world. My business is growing like crazy. At this point, I was getting millions of views on my reels on my business page.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I got
It helps having exotic cars.
Oh yeah, and I was like, I need to blow up my personal page. And the minute I started, I post about 2 reels a day. I post a lot of content, and man, that shit just started flying. I mean, in the last 30 days, I think organically I've gotten like 15,000 followers just
Really?
from posting reels, posting about the business.
Is it kind of new for you, the personal brand, or you just have kind of dialed in what works?
I've always had a little bit of a personal brand, but over the last like 2 months, I really went hard because I also have my coaching program now. So I really wanted to like bring this kind of business model out there and kind of show people what this business is all about and how I do the business differently than other people. Because a lot of people buy these cars themselves, right? I just work with investors. And yes, I do have an upper hand. Like I'm in a really solid, I live in Brickell. I've got credibility. I've got a good, personal brand. It's very easy for me to get investors versus somebody that doesn't have all of that.
You just need like, you kind of need the proof of concept. Like you did it with the first 3.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I preach. Once you have proof of concept and people know what you're doing works, you'll have no issue getting people on board.
It makes sense. Like it's, I have expensive cars.
Exactly.
Rich people want expensive cars. And when they're in town, they'll use mine.
Exactly. And the other side of the investor is one of my boys, for example, he bought a Huracan 3 months ago, calls me a week ago. Bro, he has a G-Wagon as well. He's like, bro, I hate this car. I don't want it anymore. I was like, what do you mean you hate this car? He's like, dude, I'm tired of it. I don't drive
Everyone says that about Huracans, bro.
He's like, I don't
Was
drive
it 570?
it. And the 570, same thing.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, please take it. I just rent it out for me. I just want to use it 5 days a month and I want to make money. So I get a lot of investors like that too. People just be like, dude, I don't want to use this car anymore. Like, I want to use it 5 days a month. Can you at least break me even on my payment? I'm like, hell yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's so funny. It's like you're like the cop out of
Literally.
the bad purchase.
No,
decision.
literally. Like if you buy like an F8 today, and in 3 months you go, damn, this payment's a lot, or talk about using that much. Hey Jaden, do you need another F8 for the fleet? That's literally how it goes.
That's funny. That network compounds too, I bet, because then all their friends be like telling their friend that
the amount of
yeah.
investors I've gotten from my current investors is like insane. One of my really good buddies has an R8 with me. First month, the car did really well. Calls up his buddy who has a bunch of cars. His buddy then threw his Urus in the fleet. Bro, that Urus does like 25 days a month. He's already asking like, bro, what other cars you need? He like wants to buy like 60% of my company at this point.
So but are you capped pretty much? If
there's a few cars that I could definitely take in. Like if you offered me a Huracan, I'd probably say no.
Like you could like switch them out, but like you want to stay at the 25 range, just for management purposes.
For me, it's all about the types of cars that I have. You know, I have so many Huracans that I probably wouldn't take another Huracan. Would I take another Ferrari F8? Probably, because I only have one. It does really well. Would I take another Urus? Maybe. You know,
is this a business that would sell? Like, does it have good enterprise value, or is it pretty like?
So it depends.
Because it seems like your network is pretty crucial in this, but I feel like you could hand it over.
I could. I think for like a service-based business, I think the multiplier is like 3x off of your.
It's not horrible.
Off your profit.
It's not horrible.
Not terrible. But right now I'm actually building an app. So I'm building an app. I want to do. Turo doesn't allow you to list exotic cars. They cap you at like $100,000.
This is what we should talk about.
Yes. So my goal right now, and I know I can get like a 10x, 15x multiplier, but I have a tech side to the company. I want to build like an exotic Turo platform where I can also offer other things as well. One of my investors is a huge like tech guy. He has the Huracan with me, G-Wagon, does really well. So we're in discussion right now with implementing his tech team to build something like that out for me. But I'm actually also working on another thing. I'm working on like a supercar membership.
That's cool.
So this is something
like a monthly like subscription.
Yeah. So this is something that's cool because this hasn't been done before. Do you know much about MPH Club?
No.
Okay. So they're exact same as me. Huge. They have like 40 cars. They have a really nice showroom. Like they're crushing it. I mean, they've been around for 10 years. Their marketing is on point. They have a 2-tier membership. One tier is $75,000. It gives you like 100 rental days, and that's it. The other one's $30,000. It gives you 30 rental days, and that's it. There's nothing else to those memberships.
Productized, yeah.
Yes. There's another company called Fastlane Drive, which is a exotic car membership club. You get access to all these cool events for a yearly price, yearly subscription, but you have to own a supercar to get access to those events. So I said, man, there's nothing in the middle where I can offer the cars that I have, you know, at discounted prices, and also supercar events. So let's just say somebody wanted to do Fastlane Drive, doesn't have a supercar. I mean, with my membership club, he can rent a car from me at a discounted price and take that car to whatever event I'm throwing. So now I get the membership plus the membership from guys who already own exotic cars that want to join these events. I'm kind of hitting both worlds.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. So what is obviously like I am interested because like your focus can get kind of like spread out. That's something I've dealt with a lot.
Yes.
And so is there like, I guess I'm asking like, why that route instead of like hiring an operator or like a COO, just someone like an employee, like not like a partner, but someone that's 10, 20K a month employee to like run the entire business, and then you train them and then you kind of scale out compared to the membership side?
So it's a good question. I kind of already have that. Instead of having one COO, I have Lewis and my assistant that kind of handles a lot of the operational side. So they kind of handle everything. Like my business is fully automated. Like I could be.
But what would take you from like 50 cars, you know, or to 100 cars? Is there like a demand issue at all at that point? Is it?
In the fleet?
Yeah. Does there complexities? Like, do you need like an HR team now? Like,
I can get 60 cars in a month.
I know you can get it. The cars. We assume the cars are pretty straightforward. Everyone wants to give you a car.
Yes.
But Could you sell 60 cars in a month, you think?
No.
Okay. So that's like the demand side as of right now. Rentals.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think obviously there's a lot we could do. We could run.
Quick math. The less your business spends on operations, on multiple systems, on delivering your product or service, the more margin you have and the more money you keep. But with higher expenses on materials, employees, distribution, and borrowing, everything costs more. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one platform and one source of truth. With NetSuite, you reduce IT costs because NetSuite lives in the cloud. With no hardware required, you can access it from anywhere. You cut the cost of managing multiple systems because you have one unified business management suite. You improve efficiency by bringing all of your major business processes in one platform, slashing manual tasks and errors. Over 37,000 businesses have already made the move. So do the math and see how you'll profit with NetSuite. By popular demand, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind flexible financing program for a few more weeks. Head to netsuite.com/WGMI. That is netsuite.com/WGMI. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
We could up our ad spend. We're not spending $1 on ads right now. Like obviously we can spend a couple $1,000s a month, which would help a lot, I'm sure. There's a lot of things we can do, but I think these two different things and tying them into the company they've already built will really bring up my company valuation as well.
For sure.
Because they're just different and they're so different and so niche that nobody's really brought to market yet either. So I think that they're just really good opportunities. Like for me, my whole, my day to day with this business is just growing the brand, dealing with investors and figuring out what cars we need, and getting content, stuff like that. The actual operational side, like I said, is all automated. So I actually have time to focus on these other little things. And I think like a supercar club will skyrocket our rentals.
So explain that to me. So you'll make your own supercar club? Who would join it?
So I think people that can't afford exotic cars, that want an exclusive community of exotic car enthusiasts and owners. Because like my idea is
aspiring exotic car owners.
Yeah. Like what I want to do is I want to do like 2 events a month. One can be like a cars and coffee where it's just like networking, right? And another could be like an actual like really cool.
But all your cars will be there basically.
And all like I want to open the doors to people that already own exotic cars. It'll be like less of a monthly or a yearly price. But if you don't own an exotic car, it'll be more of a yearly price with a discount per rentals.
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of people would buy it, would eat away at that.
It's just a different offer now.
And it's easy.
The same network, yeah.
There's no upfront cost to me. I'm already doing it. It's just a different avenue.
Events, yeah.
Different avenue for investors to come together and meet one another. So a lot of investors always hit me up for investor events, because when you're doing exotic car rentals and someone's giving you a Cullinan for rentals, they got cash, right? They're doing something right in life.
For sure.
So when you got 30 investors within one company that don't know one another at all, I mean, there's such an opportunity for these investors to come together and meet one another and collaborate and do whatever. So I'm actually going to open the doors for my investors. This is going to be free. So if you own a car with me, this club's free.
I mean, that is kind of why I guess the supercar groups, you have to own a supercar because kind of vets like quality people, and know if someone's there they're worth like engaging with or interacting with.
For sure. And it's funny, I make content all the time like this. I always say that owning an exotic car, even driving an exotic car, will open up doors that you didn't even think were possible. People shit on me all the time. People on Instagram shit on me all the time. Bro, why would I want someone to like me just because I'm driving a Lambo? Why does it matter what this guy thinks? It's like, bro, whether you like it or not, you pull up to an event in a Lamborghini, you are gaining attention. You pull up to an event in a Honda Civic or even a BMW 3 Series, no one's really caring who you are. Like nobody really gives a fuck who you are, right? You pull up in an exotic, the whole game changes.
Whether they admit it or not, your perception of that person changes.
Exactly.
Without a doubt.
100%.
That's why we're shooting this podcast in a $4 million condo.
Exactly.
This makes people look at us differently.
For sure.
It's part of the game.
But like it shows that you guys are doing the podcast right.
Without having to say words like, hey guys, I'm super successful.
Exactly. 100%. It's the subtle things that really make the biggest difference, right? Like the watch on your wrist, nice Rolex, that's status. Like all these little things people notice. Especially people that have money.
People that you want to notice.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing, right? Like somebody who has never owned a Rolex or has never driven an exotic car, they might, they want to look at your watch the same way as somebody who has a nice Rolex on his wrist, who drives a nice car, because they know what that's worth. They know 100%. The value of that. So they know what kind of money you must be making to afford those kinds of things. It's the same as a supercar. And even if you're renting a car, like nobody's first thought is that car is rented. Like you pull up, to anywhere in South Beach, Mila, on a Saturday night, and you valet a Lamborghini Huracan, people are you're noticed, right? You show up, you're looking good, you're dressed nicely, you know, you're looking the part. People are going to think that's your car.
How many times do people rent it for a date?
Oh, bro,
Like a good
all
amount.
the time.
Yeah.
One
That's
day,
funny.
2 days, dates, everything, events, 100%. But I mean, even for myself, right? Like I openly say that I don't own these cars. I openly say that.
Yeah.
Because why would I go and buy a Lamborghini Huracan when I have access to 6 at any given moment, right? I have such good relationships with all my investors that if a car is available and it's not being rented and it's done 15, 20 days that month, I mean, I hit them up, bro, take the car. I don't care, you know, enjoy it, do whatever. So for me, I get access to these cars for free all the time. So I can't justify going out and spending that kind of money for myself on an exotic car when I could put that money elsewhere.
And you could still get the effect at any time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that I say I don't own these cars and the fact that I flex a different exotic car every single day, like people don't really care that I don't own these cars. They're just like, dude, this guy's driving a different exotic car every single
At
day.
the end of the day, it's there.
Literally,
Yeah.
I've driven almost every single car imaginable at this point, except for like a Bugatti.
Yeah.
But they'll come one day.
Yeah,
They'll
for
come in
sure.
the fleet one day.
For sure. How much would that go for a day?
Fuck. 50K.
Can you even rent it? They'll like hunt
That's
you down.
the issue.
Bro.
I don't think anyone's insurance is gonna
Bugatti
cover
would
it.
have like an CIA agent come and get you for that.
Oh yeah. You'd have to pay cash.
Yeah. So what is your personal brand content looking like then? Just what do you
So,
like? Are you like educating people like
yeah.
how to do this business? Are
So-
you just like, I'm curious on your strategy, how you think about it?
So I don't really educate people on how to do this business. I kind of just show the ins and outs of this business. So I'll kind of like showcase a different car, how much it costs, what the monthly payment is, what kind of maintenance goes into it, and how much I make a month, and why the rental revenue always outweighs the depreciation and the maintenance costs.
Gotcha.
So I'll make content like that, showing people that this business is actually very profitable because people love to come at me, bro, the depreciation, the maintenance, you're not making any money, stop lying. It's like, bro, we're doing 6 figures a month. The investors are getting 50% of that, and they're fucking making
Is that
money.
after the car payment?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I mean, you know,
If you're doing 30K off of one car, that's insane.
I'll give you a perfect example of a perfect buy and exit. We bought a Urus. I actually bought a Urus from one of my boys 50-50. This was before I was getting the investors that I have. So for me to get these cars, I had to go 50-50 with these guys. And the deal that I had on this Urus was he gets this Urus, it's 50-50. Every dollar that the car makes goes towards him until he's paid out on his down payment.
Yeah.
And then it's just straight 50-50 on everything.
Nice.
So we did that. He broke even in like 5 months. Would I do that again? Hell no. But I had to because that was when I was just starting my business. We bought that car as a 2020 Lamborghini Urus. He put like 45 down. I think the car's value was 245. That car in a year has made in total, not with the 50-50, in total, man, I think it's made like $120,000.
So half the car is paid off in the first year.
Oh yeah, his down payment, yeah.
Are you saying that's how much revenue? It's a $240,000 car.
How much revenue in the
Made
payments?
120.
Payments are like 60K. So 60K profit. But every time you make a monthly payment, it goes into the equity of the car.
Okay.
So you're owning that car more every single month.
So it's 45K down, and then
Yes.
a year's worth of payments was
Yes.
like 60K.
So 45K down on, so he financed, let's call it 200 for easy math, right? He put $60,000 into that car. So that car is now worth 140. He owns, is left of, what he has to pay is 140.
Yeah.
That car we're selling right now, we just got an offer on the car for 225.
Yeah, the car market's doing, the luxury car market. Now, cars died recently, right?
Depends on the car.
Yeah.
That car's a 2022, still has decently low miles, so it's still holding well, but that's like the perfect buy and sell.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you buy it for 245, you lose 20,000 in depreciation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're about to make 80K off the sale of the car because you only owe 140. Your down payment's out. You already made another 60K on top of the
and you can rent that for like 3-4 years, more years easily at a premium rate. Yeah.
Easily.
Wow.
Easily.
It's just a good business. Like it's kind of like an agency in a way, but it's like these service-based businesses.
It's a
that
good
are just
business.
cash flowing.
100%. If you know how to do everything correctly, like if you can drive traffic to your service-based business, 100%. Obviously, we have really good months. We have slower months, right?
Right.
But to where we are now, a slow month is like 85K in revenue,
Yeah. Are people renting from your personal brand? Like
100%.
they're discovering you as a person?
Yeah.
What video are they seeing from you that then would, because they're probably from out of town, I would assume, or is it local people?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Mostly out of town.
So people that see your personal brand from out of town, they're seeing, is it like an ad for rental exotics and then like bookmark it and come, or what?
I think they just see me talking about cars and just showcasing different cars. They go to my profile. They see that I have Mercy Luxury in the bio. I say like 30 plus car exotic fleet owner in my bio. They see the company name. And then I think from there, they kind of just go down the rabbit hole, hit Mercy Luxury. They see the whole fleet. And then a lot of people hit me up, bro, I love the content you're posting on. I'm going to be in Miami in 2 months. I'm 100% renting a car from you.
So they kind of just builds up over time. They
Yes.
become, how many followers do you have?
47K.
That's like, it's like a solid, like, it's not huge, but
Yeah.
it's like effective.
My
and it's growing.
engagement's really good.
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that. Interesting. And you're probably like, you're kind of teaching, like showing people,
Yes.
like kind of like lifting the veil over the industry.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you're also just like fun, showing the cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for me to, like when I flex on driving a Lamborghini, that is benefiting my business every single time. Because it's like, it's like, damn, this guy's driving a Lambo, palm trees, Miami, what a vibe. I want to drive that car. I'm going to rent it from him. Because they know these cars are all rentals. They know I rent these cars. You know, I don't flex them like they're my personal cars. I flex them like, look, this car is in my fleet. I'm driving it because I have access to it, but anybody can rent this car and
The
drive
flex is that you don't own them. Like that kind of is
That
the
is the
flex.
flex.
Some
But-
people are buying them for me.
And that's where people fuck up. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people would say, nah, I bought all these cars. These are all owned by me, blah, blah, blah.
And they're lying.
Number one, they're lying 100%. But number two, that just hurts you because anybody that wants to get into this business and you tell them that you bought $7 million worth of cars yourself, the first thing they're going to think is, this is not the business for me because that is so unattainable from where I am right now. But if you tell people, look, I actually don't own these cars. You can actually get these cars with no money out of your pocket. Like anybody can do this.
How would you advise someone that wants to start this to convince someone to buy them a car if they don't have, like, would you say start with a low car just to like learn
100%.
the steps?
So for my students that I have right now, I've been trying to get them to get like very low end cars. One of my students just bought a C300. He's going to rent that for 100, 150 bucks a day.
Was that like 40,000?
I think he bought it for like less, like 28,000, 30,000. It's a great entry level car. My other student just bought a C8, 1LT, 45,000.
They're that, is it older?
It's a 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But like those are perfect because in order to build any business, you need proof of concept, especially if you want to work with investors, especially if you want to like get external people on board, you have to show proof of concept. You have to show that you have a C300, you have a C63,
Right.
Corvette, and you know how to rent these cars out. Like you're making money yourself. If you can show that you're making money yourself, nobody's going to have an issue giving you their car because they know, oh, you're making money yourself. Boom, you can make me money. And that's exactly why I think we took off the way we did, because I had these cars. I had 4 cars that I was paying for, that I paid for, that I was renting out. And I was showcasing that we were renting these cars out. Boom, I got one investor. My first ever investor car was a Porsche 911 Turbo 2015
Nice.
on an 80-20 split. Was making no money. But man, that car's went off 17 days a month. You know? Boom, I was showing people that.
That's
look,
more evidence.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was saying, this isn't my car, investor car, and it's going out 15, 20 days a month. Boom, slowly got a Corvette. And I didn't really get Lamborghinis off the bat, right? I got an Escalade, I got a Corvette from an investor. And then one of my boys, big in the jewelry and watch game, actually jumped into he bought us our first like luxury car, which was a Bentley Bentayga. And then a month later, he bought us a Maybach SUV as an investor. And at that point, I was like, bro, do you want to just be partners in this company?
Yeah.
So I literally just handed him 33% equity.
Nice.
And he came on board, and that also helped us a ton. Like he was just very liquid,
was
much
just the
more
fuel.
liquid than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fuel to the fire because we could then showcase, look, we have a Bentley, we have a Maybach SUV. Our next car was a Urus. He got us a Urus. And then
Damn, he went in.
it just went because we were making so much money.
Did you ever make like a pitch deck or anything, like a PowerPoint? Like
I
like,
did.
What did you put in it?
So I had an investor pitch deck, and I was showcasing them the cars that we currently had in the fleet and the kind of returns they were doing. A lot of our cars do over 100% ROI, like get on the down payment that investors are putting down. Usually the down payment is like 20, 30% of the car's value. But man, on a Urus, I mean, these investors are making 4 or 5K after their payment, and they're putting 40 down. 8 months they're breaking even. And now it's a zero risk car. It's you know, like what other investment vehicle do you have that offers returns anything similar? There's not much out there.
Interesting. What is the process of getting a car? Like what, for like, let's say you wanted to get an F8, like what type of credit do you need?
So
what type of payment history, like income do you have to have?
So I've got so many good relationships with dealers out here that I can get anybody really approved. You know, low credit.
So you'll get the investors approved.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they'll kind of tell me what car they want, and I'll go to my dealers and just be like, hey, do you guys have this in stock? Do you have this in inventory? You know, what are we looking down payment wise? What are we looking credit wise? But usually when they come from like a credible source like myself, the dealers, you know, I've gotten them so many investors that they've never had any issues with. They're pretty easygoing with that. But obviously, like at Ferrari F8, you know, you're gonna have to have decent credit.
So what if you're going in blind? Like we don't have someone like you. Like what would be like a realistic, like 20% down,
20, 30.
20 to 30?
And a lot of these banks look at your previous auto history. So if you haven't had a ton of like auto
Car
loans
loans,
open, you're not going to get approved on anything crazy. It's going to be really, really hard.
So that is kind of the barrier to entry for people wanting to get in this, but you would probably just have to build your way up from a lower end car.
Exactly.
And then learn good service.
And that is exactly why I preach getting like a C300, a C63, like these $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars, because you're building your history with that bank.
Right.
You're going to build your history with that dealership. So in 6 months, when you've made all your payments and they've never had an issue with you, you'll get approved on a $150,000 loan, because it's all like, yes, your credit matters and your income statements matter, of course, but relationships are so important too. Like if you can build good relationships with these banks and these dealerships, I mean, you'll get approved on anything.
I mean, that might be the biggest benefit of this business is the people that you meet along the way.
1000%. And I say this a lot, like, yes, the cash flow is amazing. You know, comes with its headaches. It's like every business. It's not
No free lunch.
It's never going to be free sailing. You know, you're going to have problems. I deal with problems every single day. It's large scale problems, small scale problems, whatever it is, I deal with problems. You know, I'm just really good at it because, you know, like yourself, I'm sure too, we learn how to adapt and how to deal with these problems and how to make these problems not seem like big problems. And, you know, we find solutions very easily.
Just the task of the day.
It's just the task.
Figure it out.
You just figure it out. Exactly.
So you're from Canada though. So how in the world did you get to Miami? And what were you doing when you were in Canada?
So I visited Miami a few times in 2021 and just kind of fell in love with the city. I knew I wanted to leave Canada after COVID, man. I just, liberal country, it's not the place to be.
Yeah.
Terrible fucking policies, terrible government. I mean, COVID was kind of the icing on the cake for me, man. The whole country shut down, forced vaccines. Like I have 2 jabs by force, literally by force. I wasn't allowed to go to the gym. I wasn't allowed to go to restaurants. I wasn't allowed to do anything.
How did they prove it?
So a lot of my friends got fake vaccine passports.
I was going to say, like,
this
passports?
Yeah, they had to get a vaccine passport.
Digital?
Digital.
Damn. Okay, so you guys were like serious about it.
Dude, it was crazy. It was like the most insane shit I've ever seen. Couldn't even go to the gym if you weren't vaccinated. Like, it was insane. So I said, you know what, screw this. This country's not for me. I actually lived in Mexico for 2 months during COVID because it was fully open. And then I was a personal trainer out of college, making like $30,000 a year. I worked at Equinox. And the only reason why I worked at Equinox was because I knew the networking was going to be really solid. And I knew I was going to get clientele. And I was going to meet people that could change my life just through opportunities. Because I always hated school. I was a C student, never got good grades, never saw the value in school. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad's been an entrepreneur his whole life. So I've kind of seen, you know, him from rock bottom to like making good money.
100%.
You know? So I saw him driving like, man, his first car was like a Hyundai Pony. I don't even think you know what that is. No. Probably like a $500 car now.
Okay, wow.
And then at one point, man, he was driving McLaren 650S. And had an M5 competition at the same time. So he's in like the medical supplies industry.
I can see the fluctuation there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just built a really solid business there. He specializes in sleeping disorders. So he sells like CPAP machines, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So that kind of took off. I think he sold half of it a few years ago. But I saw like the kind of life that gave him, right? Own boss. We would go on vacation once a year and he would be making money, not lifting a finger.
Yeah.
And that was what sold me in being an entrepreneur. I remember I was like 12 years old and he'd be like, oh, we're in Mexico, lying on the beach, drinking pina coladas. And he's like, I don't have to work. I have my team working for me. I was like, man, that is the life. Why on earth would anybody trade their time for money when you can build a business that works for you?
Did he want you to do that or was it, why?
Because I think he saw how hard it was for him. He wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant.
That's interesting.
You know, I went to private school. He spent a lot of money on my education. And man, I just hated school. We got into a lot of arguments, a lot of fights about school. Like my report card would come back, all C's. There goes my Xbox for 6 months. You know, like he was super strict on me and I just fucking hated school, bro. Hated it.
Yeah, my dad he owned a ham store.
Okay.
So like he's like ham. And that's only popular in Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So he only had to work 6 weeks out of the year. Made about $1 million a year.
Fuck.
So all summer just at the lake, just hanging out, doing literally nothing.
And how crazy is that, right? You're raised around that, right? How on earth could you then look at that, your dad's life, and go, I'm going to go get a 9 to 5?
I've never had an idea in my head that I wouldn't be doing that since he's had it for he's older. So my whole life, he's had it for over 35 years. And so I've always just been like, this is what our family does. We start a business and then we just run the business and we hang out.
Exactly.
So I've never had the idea that I'd work for somebody. But he encouraged it, which I've never heard someone's entrepreneurship father not encourage it. That's interesting.
I think for my dad, he immigrated from South Africa with like no money. Like he really went through years of hardship to like get to where he is. It wasn't like an overnight success. Like, man, I don't think he really became successful until like 10, 12 years of being an entrepreneur, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Before then,
That's brutal.
before
It is
then,
brutal.
yeah,
Don't
it's
get
a
me wrong.
brutal, oh, it's a brutal life.
All
Like,
of entrepreneurship. Yeah.
before then, we were renting houses, you know, like I never really had much growing up. And then, boom, he started one business, the medical supplies one called Sleepworks.
So you just kept trying shit, and it just that one hit.
That one hit. That's all it takes as an entrepreneur. It's like throwing darts at a dartboard, right? As long as you stake it, like 12 years of being an entrepreneur until he became successful. Like, of course, I got lucky, right? A year of doing this, found success. But that's not the norm, right? Like, consistency, being an entrepreneur is the name of the game. I would have, if I was where I was a year ago right now, I bet you anything I would have just stayed consistent, and nothing would have changed from my discipline, from my day to day, from the amount of work I'm doing. Because for me, that's just like who I am. Like if I'm going in on something, I'm going all in.
It's resilience, really.
Exactly. And until like it proves to me that it's not going to work, I'm not going to stop.
Yeah. It's like you will make it work if it can work, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when we like talking about coaching programs and mentorships, a lot of people expect handouts, right? They expect the blueprint, they expect things to be done for them. And the minute an ounce of work has to go in to building a business, even though you're getting,
what the hell?
Right? You're getting all the necessary things to make you successful. But the minute they realize that they have to work this hard, or it might take them a year, 2 years to get to where we currently are, they're out. They don't want to do it.
Which is very ironic. Like it is like relatively simple to understand.
It is.
Like you just need a car. You find someone who wants to rent it. Here's some ways to find people that need to rent it.
Oh, if you
Now go.
exactly. If you owned 3 to 4 cars yourself, not even anything crazy. Let's say you have a C63S renting here for $300 a day, payments $1,000, $1,200 a month, 4 days of breaking even. I mean, 15 days on that, you're making $3K. You get 3 cars like that you're renting 50% of the month, you're making $10K a month.
Do you think it takes like a certain personality type? Like you seem pretty high vibration, you know, you're high energy. You know?
I think so, for sure.
In sales. Did it align with personal training? That makes sense, I feel like.
100%. I got really good at sales when I was a personal trainer.
You have to be, bro.
Oh, yeah. And I had no prior experience before working at Equinox. And I told them, I'm like, look, I don't have any personal training experience. But they're like, you have a good personality. We think you can sell. And that's all we really need you to do. Within the first 3 months, I hit every single one of my rookie bonuses, which happens. I think they told me like 5% of trainers hit that. You have to sell 4 personal training packages in the first month, 8 in the second, and 12 in the third. And I hit all of that.
And these are just people that are coming into the gym that you have to sell?
Coming into the gym. So every time you sign up at Equinox, you get something called an Equal Fit and 1 free personal training session. The Equal Fit and the comp session are where you sell.
That's a sales call.
Even if somebody doesn't realize, like they might go into that just because it's free, thinking they don't need a trainer.
Yeah.
Your job is to convince them they need a trainer.
Yeah, like
you got to
the
show
stuff
them
they
their
don't know.
weaknesses.
Yeah.
You have to show them like, this is what you need work on. This is what you could do better. And you just like, that's where I just learned how to sell. Like these cold leads would come in and I was converting these cold leads into sales, you know, like the minute you can get good at converting cold leads into sales and you have a good, closing rate, I mean, bro, you can sell anything.
What do people ever call you to rent? Because you do it all privately, right? So you're talking to them. What are like the objections they hit you with? Like, or like, what are the like main questions people ask?
I never really get.
I was gonna say like it doesn't.
Never. Like somebody that's hitting me up for like a Huracan or a Cullinan, like they know the pricing. Depending on, friends will be a little more lenient, stuff like that. But I don't really get objections. The biggest objection is they don't have the right insurance. That's literally the biggest objection.
Gotcha.
And I just can't rent to them.
I'm pretty sure almost everyone probably wants delivery.
Yes.
Yeah. Can they pick it up from your place if they want to? But almost probably no one does that.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people, right where I am, there's like the W Hotel, Icon, very popular Airbnb spot.
Yeah.
A lot of like good buildings. They even here is like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive. So a lot of people actually will just come pick up the car because I charge $100 delivery.
Okay.
So if it's like a $15 Uber, sometimes it's better for them to Uber there, pick up the car, than for them to hit them for $100.
Do you think it's important to live in a like have your cars stored in like a nice area like that, like where everything's close?
100%.
Yeah.
I think
where they would be.
I think proximity is so important for your cars.
Not the airport.
That is a great spot.
If you can get close to the airport, like a warehouse or something, or live close to one.
That's where MPH Club is, and I think they crush it. They get a lot of walk-ins because they're right by the airport.
Closest one, like luxury car rentals near me, SEO.
Exactly.
Huh.
So the airport's a great location.
You just got to know your game.
Yes.
And you had the mentor that you paid for, and then he kind of plugged you in with the hosts, and then you've added on personal brand. That's kind of enough deal flow.
Exactly. It's
cool.
Like the one thing that he did well with his branding, but he even told me, he's like, man, I've never been able to market like you, like to blow up the brand like you have. And that alone has gotten me so many celebrity clients.
That's a cheat code on short form Instagram right now. Just any luxury car that every like guru rents them just to get the views,
I have seen, it's so funny.
Do you rent them out to the gurus?
Well, it's so funny to say because one of my investors, he has the STL, right? I came across a video of this like Forex trader that rented it. bro, this guy made a whole short
Of your car.
of that car, like he bought it. He drove it to the dealership.
Yeah, bro.
He was like picking up like
went to a
purple.
dealership?
Bro, he drove it to the Lamborghini dealership, showcased the dealership.
Fake pink slip.
He went in there like he spec'd the car out, and then he like left like he fucking bought it. I sent it to my
can't
investor.
trust anything.
He was so mad.
Oh,
he was like,
dude.
"You have to put in the contract that they cannot flex that these cars are theirs." He was so pissed. It was so funny.
Do you have that now?
No, because for me, I'm
good
like,
for business.
good for business. You know,
Yeah.
you want to flex the car like it's yours. I mean, fuck it. You know, I'm sure that's what a lot of people are doing, even if they're not
People are
making content.
shameless. Damn.
Bro, it's just, but that's like scammer vibes. Like this guy has a whole coaching program.
Common out here.
You know, he has a
Yeah.
trade. He has like a trading group,
Mhm.
and he's flexing an STO like he just bought it. Meanwhile, he rented it for $1,500 for the day. You know, like
Scum
it's,
of the earth, bro.
no, literally, like that is like a scum of the earth. You're
Mhm.
charging probably $5K for mentorship, showing people that you own an
that,
STO.
that hurts, bro.
Like, bro, this guy's probably not even making $10K a month.
And the worst thing is trading, which is
Yes.
like gambling. Unless you were
Oh.
like a Wall Street pro.
100%,
Huh. That's pretty common out here. I feel like this is like the hub for those type of people.
1,000%.
You gotta be careful in Miami.
Oh
bro.
man, I got scammed 20K from one of my friends. You'll
Really?
yeah, bro. A lot of people are scumbags out here.
What did
lot of
they like
scammers.
out of a deal or just like you sent him money for something?
Yeah, he wanted. I had some crypto that I really wanted to
Ah.
cash out. He said he would send me a wire,
Ah,
so I wouldn't get hit with any fees.
yeah, yeah.
And it was like a Friday night.
That
so
makes sense. That would
he was-
cost you like
yeah,
probably $500.
exactly. So I was like, you know, he's like, bro, I'll send you the wire confirmation. It's Friday night. It's not gonna hit till Monday. He sent me a fake wire confirmation. I just trusted his word. I sent him 20K. Week goes by. Hey, bro, still haven't gotten the wire. Oh, bro, let me go to the bank. Oh yeah, it'll be sent. Don't worry. Week goes by. I didn't get the wire. Week go by.
Chalk
oh,
it up to
bro,
the game.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I can send you a PayPal. Oh, my wire didn't go through. I think I spent too much money. I'm like, bro, I got
I can never understand how people get by like that. Like you're burning every bridge.
every bridge. And
Happened to
then,
me a lot.
and think about it too, right? Once you have a platform, like you have a platform,
Mhm.
my platform's growing. I mean, once you have a platform, the minute somebody does you wrong like that, you can put them on blast. You know?
I don't, but yes.
But like, I'll give you an example. I've never done it personally, but my friend, my business partner, basically got his watch robbed.
Mm.
One of our old investors, so I actually used to be really good friends with him, wanted to buy his Rolex, $18,000. The guy's like, oh, I really want to put on my Amex, blah, blah, blah. So my boy was like, you know what? That's cool. I'll send you a Stripe invoice. You know, we know you. We've done a lot of business with you. You're not going to fuck us. Sends him a Stripe invoice. Bro, a month later, he disputes the invoice
For 18 grand,
for 18 grand. Still had the watch on his wrist.
that'd be a pretty easy dispute to win too.
I told one of my boys about it, who has a huge following. I don't want to name who it is. Bro, put this guy on blast on his story saying, scammer, stole this watch. Do not like do business with this guy.
Did he have an online presence? Like, was that part of his shtick?
Big online presence too.
Oh, okay. The
Big-
guy that was scammed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, he didn't have that big of a presence. The guy who disputed the watch, he had a decently big online presence. But one of my boys, who I'm really good friends with, has a massive platform,
Mhm.
massive. And I told him about it. I said, dude, like, because I saw him in the valet lobby, like I was trying to figure this situation out for my boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, bro, what's going on? I told him. He's like, what's his name? I'll make a story right now. Bro, puts him on his story, calling him a scammer, pictures of him wearing the watch with his girl, all these different things. He came to the SLS not even 5 minutes later with that watch and gave that watch back.
Just gave it back.
Yep.
Which is so that's interesting that social pressure, even though he's not like a social media influencer like creator,
But
still got to him.
100%. Because think about it, right? Like somebody with a big platform, they want to post bad about somebody, which I mean, no one should ever do.
Mm-hmm.
But if they wanted to, I mean, you're getting in front of so many people. And if you have a really solid face and you have you're reputable and you have credibility,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to believe that this guy scammed. So his followers are going to this guy's profile. Give the watch back. Can't believe you scammed. Low life. Bro, he came so fast and gave that watch back. Whereas if
What did he
that,
say?
he was just like, bro, you know, I was
Made up some excuse.
I lost my card, so Amex disputed all my charges. I already told you I was working on it.
I already told you I was
All
working on it.
bullshit, bro. All bullshit. And we had been hitting him up for like a week to get that watch back. Bro,
Yeah.
on work, he was in Hawaii, living life, didn't give a fuck. The
Got a
minute,
loan on the watch.
the minute he was put on blast, that watch came back.
That's
you
pretty.
know?
It's powerful.
So it's crazy with social media. Like when you have a platform nowadays and you have an audience that you've never wronged,
Mhm.
that you've only given value to, that you've only given solid advice to, that really enjoy your content. I mean, the minute you post that you got robbed, that someone scammed you, why on earth would they think it's fake?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be so bought into you that they're going to go to that guy's platform, his profile, and just destroy him.
Oh yeah,
You know,
you got an army behind you.
you have an army. Exactly.
Okay, so back to car rentals. I was curious on What would you say like the biggest mistake that someone getting into the industry would make that they probably don't see coming?
Not knowing how to do the insurance properly.
Insurance?
That will wipe you out. One accident that you have to come out of pocket
Yeah.
$50K. I mean, bro, if you don't have the money for that, you're fucked.
So you just find
Most
these-
people last a year and they're out. Most of these new guys will last a year and they get out of the game because one big accident really wipes
them out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like stocks in a way where you can like have
Yeah.
one like wrong short.
Trading,
Yeah.
on leverage, same thing.
So the insurance guy, is just like a type of job that they could like find someone on LinkedIn, or like is this like a common thing? It's like a firm, or
Nah, you just
how do
kind
you
of
find those people?
have to know what kind of questions to ask, and you kind of develop that over time.
To the insurance brokers, what is their
Yes.
title? Like,
These guys that like do the calls.
yeah, handles all the claims and everything.
Oh, those are the attorneys.
Not the attorney, not the claims. The first guy. You
Oh,
said.
the policies.
Yeah, the policies.
That run the
That
policies.
calls them all. Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't really know. I don't really have a name for him.
he just like you just met him and
I
this
just call
like,
him Lewis. That's his title, Lewis.
Does he like licensed in any way?
No.
So literally his job is just like look at the person's insurance card.
Yep.
Call the company, make sure it has at least 500K worth of coverage.
Yeah, and a bunch of other questions.
Like what?
That's the secret sauce.
Tell me.
I don't know if I can share that on the pod.
Okay.
That's what I charge 5K plus for.
Are you doing coaching?
So in my coaching program, I teach all of that. We give out the insurance template. We give out the contracts that we use. We give out everything. So somebody that wants to start this kind of business will have zero liability because they know they're going to be covered every single time. And the biggest thing is you record the phone calls, right? Because a lot of these insurance agents might tell you the guy's covered when they're actually not. A lot of these people, sometimes they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But if you have that insurance call verified and recorded, you could always use that in court if insurance denies the claim.
Interesting.
They'll have to pay you out and they'll just fire the agent.
So you want to record that call just
Yes.
to prove that
100%.
they already verbally agreed that this guy is perfect.
100%.
Cleared.
And in the state of Florida, you have to say you're calling from a recorded line. Otherwise, it's not usable.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. So it's just hosts. That's not a thing in a lot of cities. So you have people in your coaching program. The guy in Indiana has the C8, right? Does he start on Turo?
Yes.
Yeah.
They all start on Turo.
So there's no really way. Like you have to make like you probably encourage personal brand content too. Like
Yes.
let people like the 100 people that follow you from your hometown, let them know.
100%.
Yeah.
And the biggest, like Facebook Marketplace is a huge driving force too. You'll get a ton of requests from Facebook. A lot of window shoppers, of course. But I always recommend everybody start on Turo because Turo is going to teach you the ins and outs of this kind of business. They make everything very easy.
There's a little padding with they do the insurance.
Exactly.
They have your
They
back.
provide their
Yeah.
own insurance. They tell you exactly what kind of photos to take before and after, so you're always covered. Because that's a huge thing too, right? We do deposits, $1,000 deposit on every car, sometimes $2,000. And I do a full walk around video, and my guy does, of the car, right? Because, man, I've had cars come back, scratch rims, scratch here. Oh, bro, that was there before. I didn't do that. And then if you don't have the before video, then you're screwed. There's no way you can prove that that client did it. And now you're coming out of pocket. Even something small like a scratch trim isn't that
What
expensive.
is that process if someone scratches a car? What do you have to do?
Usually we'll get a quote so we'll hold the deposit until we get a quote for however much that's going to cost. And then we just kind of take that from the deposit.
What's the deposit? Like if they pay you $1,500 for a day, there's a security deposit on top of that?
Yes.
How much?
1,000.
And that's just on a credit card that you can like hold?
Cash, credit card, Zelle.
Oh, okay. So you
All of it.
physically, so they basically have to give you 2,500, and then once the card checks out, you give them 1,000 back.
Exactly.
And then let's say there is a scratch, you hold it, you have the video. Do you make a claim to insurance, or do you go
No.
to the body shop, or you
No,
just
anything below the deposit, we don't make a claim for.
Okay.
Anything that's going to cost a couple thousand.
where do you get the quote from?
That's
The
from
body
the body shop.
Okay, so you'll take a video of the scratch, be like, yo, how much is it going to be to fix?
Exactly.
Okay, and then if it's under 1,000, you're just like, okay, great, we're going to keep 500 to get this done. You're good to go.
Exactly.
Here's 500.
Yep.
Are you mad at the person?
No, part of the business,
Do you yell at them
Nah.
ever?
Some clients get pissed when you take their deposit, though. I've had people come like fucking screaming at valet in the lobby because we do a 100-mile limit a day too. The biggest thing is people go over miles, and we charge $5 a mile, $6 a mile. You do 100 extra miles, it's $500.
Do you like that?
I love that. Clients don't, but I do.
Yeah.
But you have to. Otherwise, that's where the depreciation hits, right?
Yeah,
the
they're
miles
driving
on the
across
car.
town. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're not strict on the mile allowance, people are just going to use and abuse you. I've had Urus come back with 700 miles in 2 days.
Damn.
Like I don't
Yours
even have,
makes sense. I guess you could drive far with that.
yeah, I don't even at that point I didn't even have enough to cover the over miles. I just had to take whatever I had. So
For your deposit?
Yeah, we started at $500 deposits, and then we were just coming out of
Can you
pocket.
charge them? Can you be like, yo, you drove?
If they have their card on file, yeah.
car, that's why people don't pay card.
And I don't like using credit card too because people just dispute for no reason.
Yeah, Amex especially.
Oh, bro, it's the worst,
Mhm.
man. People just dispute because they felt like it 2 months later, and then that's a whole
They needed money.
fucking
Yeah, they like I should have
Yeah.
done that.
literally. And sometimes we'll show everything. We'll show the rental contract. We'll show everything. The ID that he sent, like we have of him, and sometimes they still win. It's crazy.
That is wow.
With Amex, that's like
I
insane.
mean, Amex got your back, so but you will get blacklisted.
Yes.
Huh. So are there any other, is it like, if they don't, are there any like hidden fees? Like if they don't fill up the gas tank?
Yes.
How much is that?
Usually we do like $50 a quarter tank.
Okay. So for every quarter tank, it's not filled up, $50.
Yes.
On top of the gas fee or with gas?
No, that's just
Just covers everything.
Because like quarter tank on a Huracan probably costs like $30. We just charge
Yeah.
50 because 50 is always going to cover every single car.
Yeah.
Quarter tank.
Yeah.
So for easy math, we just do 50
So it's daily rate, mile limit. They go over that. Is it per mile? What did you say?
per mile.
$5 per mile?
Yeah, the STO is $10 per mile.
Okay, depending on the car.
Yeah.
$5 to $10, and then $50 for every quarter tank of gas they left empty.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Like little upsells or add-ons?
Delivery, pickup, and drop offs, $100
$100.
each way. That's pretty much it. Over miles, gas, delivery. That's pretty much it.
Do you guys have like upsells? Like, do you do yachts or anything? Or you get like an affiliate referral deal, maybe?
I have a lot of friends that do yachts. I have a lot of broker friends that broker yachts too. But we don't get a lot of people coming in asking for other things. They kind
Gotcha.
of just like come in for the car. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Interesting.
That's why I think like a luxury concierge app would be amazing. I could build around my business, my company, because then clients could book cars on the app and they also get hit with all these upsells.
So it's an entire concierge app.
I want
Would
to
it
start
be
with
for
rentals, but
hosts?
yes.
Yes.
I want to start with
But would it be
rentals, but
local for Miami or like?
to start?
Yeah,
And then
that makes sense.
I want to white label it. So if another exotic content company wants to use that app, it's
Be their brand.
exactly. It's
It's kind of like there's a lot of personal trainer apps that do that.
yes.
That you like download it and then not MyFitness.
Trainerize.
Trainerize.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of influencers use
Yeah.
Trainerize.
Yeah, and it
And
looks
they
like
white
their
label
brand.
the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It's smart.
So if I could do something like that around exotic
Is there
cars,
anything that does that for exotic cars?
nothing.
I wonder how big the market is though.
It's a pretty, I mean, in Miami, it's a huge market. LA is a big market.
Well, how big? Yeah, I guess how many cities is there a market? You know,
You'd be surprised.
but that's my whole shtick is micro SaaS. So it's like
Yes.
100, 200K a month you could easily do with an app,
Yes.
and that could sell for 20 million.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
And if we're talking like global revenue with exotic car rentals, I mean, annually.
Dubai.
Dubai. Oh, that's probably a bigger market than Miami.
So what other software tools do you use to run the business?
Rental. We use a software called
Rental.
Rent-All. That's just kind of our booking software. So we plug in all our clients in there, phone number, email, price, dates, everything, their ID, their insurance policy.
Is it made for cars or is
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
It's made for car rental companies, but it's also a pretty trash platform. There's really no good platform out there for exotic
Yeah.
car rentals. Like everything is so outdated. The way people run, like even myself, the way I run my business is so traditional. Word of mouth, you know, Instagram.
Is it more of a back end or is there like a front end interface where they can like fill out the dates?
It's all back end.
Okay. So they're just like they're texting you or DMing you on Instagram.
On Squarespace, we have like a little box at the bottom where they can put in their information, what dates they're looking for, what cars they're looking for.
Like an
Then-
inquiry. Yeah.
Exactly. Then they'll send us an email and we'll just hit them up. I'll get my assistant to call them. Hey, so you're looking for a Huracan. It's available during those dates. You have insurance. You have driver's license. Blah blah blah.
And they just send them through the email and then you just upload them
Exactly.
to Rental.
Exactly.
That's like your database basically.
Exactly.
Okay. So Rental, anything else? Is that rentall.com?
DocuSign for contracts.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Stripe for credit card processing, which we're moving away from.
Yeah.
Fuck Stripe.
3% gone.
Oh, dude, and we have like 20K held in reserve right now.
Mm-hmm.
They just won't release because
Okay,
of
it's like
clients disputing.
That's everyday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. You know, like, so I don't really take credit cards. Right? I'm not really taking credit cards right now.
It's a win-win, honestly.
Yeah.
But okay, so Rental, DocuSign for legal docs, Stripe for payment processing, not anymore, but Zelle, Cash App, Bitcoin, crypto, whatever.
Yes. Cash. I like cash.
Cash King.
I like cash.
And then anything else? Instagram, and then that one tool how do they manage your Instagram? Is it just, are they logged into your account? Or do you
I
have
kind of do the Instagram.
So you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're replying to me fast.
Yeah.
So, okay, that makes sense.
It's not common, so I'm sorry for everybody in the DMs right now. I'm pretty slow replying to.
I had to hit you in the comment. I had to be one of those people like,
No, I appreciate
check
it.
the DM, bro.
Appreciate it. I saw your message even before then,
Okay.
and then I saw that after because I was just responding to like comments on that video, and I was like, oh fuck.
Okay, hell yeah, brother. Okay, so those are any other tools you can think of? That's simple. That's a simple business right there.
It's a very simple business,
You
bro.
just gotta have the people and know
All
what
you
to do.
you need to have inventory and you need to have demand. That's it.
Yeah, that's why paying that guy 15,000 is so worth it.
So
Even
worth
if
it.
like I would, if I try to enter any new field or do any new hobby, I buy a course just because I want to know this is everything I need to do. And so like then I'm not like anxious or worried that like I'm missing one piece and that's why the business isn't working. Like this is the box. All I know is if I don't succeed, it's because I'm not doing it. I'm
and
working
you're
hard
gonna
on
waste so much time. Time is money, right? Like a lot of these, like it took me
that. It's like the peace of mind for me, just knowing this is what I need to do. If
exactly.
it's not working, it's because it's me.
I think the biggest question mark for a lot of people when looking for a mentor is this person the right mentor for me? Especially for me, I'm lucky because my industry is so untapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's other guys doing exotic car coaching programs, but I don't think they're on the same level that I'm at, you know, like they don't really have the credibility that I have, everything like that.
And people learn from different teaching styles or different
Yes.
personality types. That's why course businesses are so much different than software. Software, like you
100%.
have to win by product. Where courses, like they only care about who they're learning from. So they're being
100%.
sold on you instead of the product, which is equally as difficult.
100%. And I think I teach the management side, which is awesome. Like even for me, I mean, I got an investor, he has 40 Airbnbs, making 150,000 a month on Airbnb. Like when you get the investors on board and you're making the money, these are people that will just become your friends.
Yeah.
And these are people that are killing it in their own industry. So like my network now of people from all over the place that are making 6 figures a month just from them throwing a car in my fleet is absolutely insane. Like if I were to sell this company tomorrow, I guarantee I'll have an opportunity with any of them if I wanted to pursue that industry, right? If I wanted to pursue Airbnbs next, I had fun with cars, I wanted Airbnbs.
Yeah.
I hit up my investor.
Different game.
I hit up Colin, who's crushing it with Airbnbs. Now, 100%, he'll teach me the whole game. He has a coaching program too, a mentorship. But like, you know, these are guys I just hang out with on a daily basis anyways, you know? Like these are guys I talk business with on a daily basis anyways, you know?
Okay, interesting. That's for sure the most valuable thing.
1,000%. 1,000%. My network is like insane. I got invited to Floyd Mayweather's birthday party.
He's one of your
months ago.
clients, right?
One of my clients. He rented out like Swan, Kiki, and like a bunch of other places.
Like the, oh wow.
Yeah, for his like birthday. I mean, I've rented
Money Mayweather, dog.
I rented a T Grizzly Ferrari,
There you go.
and then I got invited to his.
Oh, this is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I got invited to his music video with like Future. There's like 4 people there.
Did you use your car?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Thank you for reminding me.
music videos.
Music videos or just like what, like these are like marketing angles in a way. So like what like main use cases are people dates, but what main use cases are people renting these cars for most likely, most commonly?
Most commonly, it's just to enjoy their time in Miami.
What about like, what are like weird niche ones that you've heard? So like how big is a music video?
videos. My cars have been featured in quite a few. Quite a few music videos.
Is there any extra rule that comes with that or just have fun, do your thing?
Like, you know, standing on the car, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Like, you know, Jack Doherty, he rented the F8 for like some content. Man, there's a video of him like redlining the engine for like 5 seconds.
Ah,
I literally commented on the video. I was just like,
can you sue someone for that shit?
I mean,
bro?
if he blew the engine 1,000%,
Yeah.
we had his insurance, everything.
Yeah.
It was funny. I commented on that video. I was just like, it's not nice to do that to rentals or something. And it got like
Nice.
20,000 likes.
Got his ass.
Yeah.
That's good. That was slick.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to blow up like that, but that was funny.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, sometimes shit like that happens, you know? Like there's a video of him standing on the Ferrari doing a backflip. I'm like, bro,
The same kid?
the same kid.
It's on brand for him. I hear. I don't know much about him, but this is the lane. That's what I
yeah,
hear you say.
man. Like a lot of, I've heard some stuff, you know, dealing with him, like as a client, doing shit like that. It's like, bro, I'll never rent to you again. And I'm sure people do shit like that, but they don't.
Don't post it.
Don't post
They're not dumb enough to post it.
I had
or arrogant.
our Maybach SUV came back with like dents on the hood, like foot dents on the hood, and we hit their insurance and got paid out. But like those guys were standing on the car for.
How long? What's the cycle of like if you see that you need to hit their insurance? Are you just basically just like sending all those documents that were in All Rent to their insurance company?
10 minutes to open a claim.
And then
The hardest.
what's the rate of get them like being successful? And you have to like do more.
If you know what you're doing, like 100%.
Your lawyers.
Yeah, the issue is when clients don't cooperate, it takes very long. So if a client's cooperating, hey, yeah, I was driving the Urus, yeah, I got into a small accident.
Yeah.
Boom, you're getting paid out within.
Are you recording the
30 days.
phone call?
Yeah, everything.
Like if they like admit to it in a way, like you kind of need like an admission.
Everything. Every phone call to the insurance company is recorded.
But
Just in case we ever-
what if the client calls you?
Oh.
He's like, hey man, we bad news. Hit a curb. Tires fucked up.
That would be, we should.
Okay, you don't, but it's not like
No.
a fucking, okay.
No. Well, that would be like, that's what we should be doing for sure.
So is that what the reason I asked this is that why you teach people in your like you're like starting to coach? Do you teach them to like kind of market it as like you could almost like I'm just thinking this because I used to shoot music videos.
For
Like
sure.
you could create like a car rental company, and like one marketing funnel could be like rent a supercar for your local
yeah.
music video shoot,
100%.
or like rent, I guess, limos for weddings or whatever. Like, what are the little angles that you would see there? So like music videos is
Music
one.
videos, prom.
Prom.
Prom's big.
Yeah.
We actually get decent amount of rentals for prom like every year.
Yeah.
We get a lot of, what else? Weddings.
Mhm.
Weddings are not huge, but we do get that too.
How would a person in a wedding use it? Just to pull up to their
Yeah, they
Like-
usually want like a white car.
yeah,
pull
like
up.
white G wagon. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
something like
that'd
that.
be great.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But I rent to athletes as well. One of my boys is like a huge bare knuckle fighter. He's like number one in the world.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, so I always give him a car for his main event fights, and he'll get
So like
content
right
around
before
it.
their fight, they want to get seen
Exactly.
coming out of a nice car,
Exactly.
like a PR thing.
Yeah, I think he
Probably.
took the R8 Spider last
Nice. Anything else you could think of?
time.
Because this is like really interesting to me.
Yeah,
Just
no,
these
for
random
sure.
niche ones.
Yeah, I mean hourly is huge.
Hmm.
You know,
That's probably for renting like photography. Yeah.
photo shoots, staging the cars for events. That's
Mm.
pretty big as well.
Like to promote like a nightclub event. Just be like, look,
I
try
get-
to attract that demographic.
No, for sure. I
Yeah.
get a lot of people always hitting me up for like sponsorships, just
Mm.
to like put a couple cars outside. I can put my,
A sticker on or something.
exactly,
Huh.
exactly.
Huh.
But usually the main renters are just guys coming in for a few days.
Yeah.
You know, they're staying in South Beach. They want a Huracan while they're down here.
They're used to driving these type of cars anyways.
And the nice thing with Miami too is people come down here knowing they're going to spend money.
yeah.
They know that, okay, any club I go to is
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
gonna make a dent,
expensive.
Yeah.
Any restaurant I go to, any nice hotel in South Beach that I stay at is going to be expensive. Fuck it, I may as well just throw a Huracan in as well for 3
Mhm.
days, you know?
And if you have a host, they can just package all of it up together.
Exactly.
Huh.
Because
Okay.
Miami's the full experience. Most people that come down here want the full experience.
Yeah.
The yacht, the supercar, the nice dinners,
sure.
the clubs, you know?
So do you get like a referral fee has that ever happened where someone wanted a yacht? Or like you can like, or the host
I'll
maybe?
broker it.
Yeah, yeah.
So same way like we work with brokers,
Yeah, flip it.
I'll ask them what's my price. I'll give it to you for $2,500. Tell the client 3,000. I make
Nice.
$500.
There you go. There's
I
your
like
spread.
brokering better because then you can charge whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you know they have deep pockets and 4K is nothing,
That's
you can
the
make
world
a
we
little
live in, brother.
$1,500.
Yeah, that's the world we live in.
That's the world we live in.
Any price is just what the person's willing to pay.
Exactly.
Huh.
The trick in sales is you always want to start high because people are always
Mhm.
going to negotiate. So the minute you start low, you're just going to lose out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
You might as well start super high, and then most of the time they're not going to negotiate down to your rock bottom price.
But just stay high, state your price, and stay quiet.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to charge on my retail pricing is pretty high
Mm-hmm.
because clients always negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a STO on my website for 1,800, but I'm cool renting out for 1,500, I know they're going to negotiate down to 1,500, and that's what I'm cool renting the car at. So,
What would be like if you were starting from nothing again, like from your M2 to where you're at, that was 2 years. But just like a typical person that's living in like a Midwestern state or
Mhm.
something, or like a Northern state, maybe. How long do you think it would take him to get to like this 100K a month mark or the supercar, their first supercar?
take them a while,
Like 3 years, probably 4,
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3. I mean, that's long.
I think for myself, I had everything I needed
Ideal
around me.
place, ideal people,
Exactly.
ideal lived in the right place, network arose, you invested in yourself, you had the
Ex-
money to pay 15K.
Exactly.
Okay. But still 3 years isn't bad.
That's not bad. I mean, you can make money within 6 months. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, like 4 or 5,000 a month. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Like to scale up to 10K, you can do that within six months to a year.
Mhm.
That is life changing for a lot of people.
But you're just probably doing everything yourself.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it's an easy side business because if you have 2-3 cars, there's not much to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to manage.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
a lot of sense.
So you could easily make an additional 5-6K a month off 2-3 cars on top of your current 9 to 5, on top of your primary source of income. And I think that is what a lot of people are interested in because I think people look at my fleet and where I am and they go, fuck, that took a lot of work, or
Yeah.
fuck, that looks so unattainable. I just want 4 or 5K a month, And
Yeah.
that's easier for me to do because to get to that levels, that happens in 2-3 months. It's not a hard feat to
Mhm.
achieve.
I agree.
For somebody that wants to come in and build a 30-car fleet, all right, now you're talking like you're going to have to do a shit ton. Like you got to build everything, like personal brand. You got to build your company brand. You got to build, if you want to get to that level in a short amount of time, I mean, that is what takes an insane amount of work that a lot of people aren't willing to put in.
Have you thought about other social media platforms like YouTube or anything?
YouTube, we were doing YouTube videos for a while. We were trying to post once a week. Actually,
What were the videos?
I would just like collab with other creators.
Ah.
So like Neil TPT, we did a video.
Mhm.
We like raced 2 cars. That was like my first video. And then I did my second video was with Walter from Fresh and Fit.
Nice.
That was my
Who's Walter? Is he like the
Walter Weeks,
is he
Fresh Prince CEO on Instagram.
So it's Fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know
That's how I know their
Yeah,
names.
yeah,
I don't know their
Fresh.
real names.
Fresh,
Okay. Cool.
Fresh and Meyer, and they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So he was the second video. I think his was the most viewed video we got. It was like 12,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
As our second
Were you on their
video.
podcast?
I was.
I think I saw that. I
Yeah.
think I saw that when I was
So my most
looking
viewed
it up.
reel is actually a clip from the podcast. I think it got like 1.2 million views.
What were you talking about?
The perfect entry level car.
Oh, okay.
And I said that was a C63S, but nobody knew I was talking about rentals. So they were like, what the fuck? Perfect entry level
my
car?
dream car.
60K? What the
Yeah.
fuck is this guy smoking?
Yeah, that's funny.
You know?
That's a great car though. That's like the
Oh, I love that car.
all around.
I have that in the
great car.
fleet. Great car.
Mhm.
Cabriolet, tuned, so comfortable, sounds great, looks great. Can't beat it.
Do you modify any of these cars? Like, is your goal to make it look as exotic as possible, or
Yeah, I'm pretty strict with what cars come in the fleet. Like they really have to be a nice spec, nice modification. Like they need something to it, you know?
do you think that's because like with rich people, they typically are like if you're going high end, like you don't want to be little broed by anybody, so you
Yes.
want like the nicest of the nice.
100%. And also I tell them like, look, if you want this car to go out more than other cars, it's got to stand out. It's got to be a nice spec. It's got to be attractive.
So no 570s, only 610s, or
Exactly.
like Aventadors. Okay.
No, I hate 570s. I had one in the fleet and like, bro, I was always in the shop.
It's funny how the front little hood can make it look so ugly
Legit though.
compared to just one little.
No,
tweak.
legit. And people love that car because of the doors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The doors is a selling point.
Oh yeah.
That's why back in the day, i8s would full on. I never had an i8 in the
If you don't
fleet.
have a supercar, the doors go up. What's the point of it being a supercar?
Exactly. Huracans still do well though in Ferraris.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
The F8, fuck, that's like my favorite car.
Me too. That's like if I were to
Sick
get a
car.
sports car, for sure.
Oh,
the
you
one
got to
I'd go
experience the one we have in the fleet. It has a Capristo exhaust and it's tuned. Dude, this car.
with. I'm scared to drive rental cars. Like,
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will for sure like bottom out.
All right, let's all. Yeah, you're not renting from me.
Yeah.
I'll put you.
Don't worry.
Rent from one of my competitors.
I'm self-aware.
refer you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just fuck
I'll be
the
a
car up.
secret agent for
Exactly.
you. That's funny.
But yeah, no shit happens. I mean, it's part of the game, you know. We don't really take everything personally. Like
Mm.
I don't lose sleep over something happening to a car. I don't get mad. I understand this is part of the game, and I understand that we do everything by the book to ensure that when something like that happens, we're gonna get taken
Do you
care
have
of.
liability insurance?
Yep.
How much?
I actually don't know the exact.
It's like
number.
$1 million, 10 million.
That is one of the questions we ask. They need to have full coverage and full comprehensive.
Okay.
Which
That pretty much
covers-
seems like what is the critical point of this,
Yes.
or else you will literally get wiped out.
Oh yeah.
If someone wrecks a $200,000.
Oh yeah. One of my
car.
buddies had guy rented his Maybach sedan a couple years back. Went to 11, got blackout, left. They're going
He drove.
They're going 140 down the Venetian Causeway and
Jesus.
hit a pole and car blew up in flames. We really screen our clients. We really vet who's getting in the cars. We really see what cars they already have on policy. I mean, we see all these different things, and we turn down a ton of rentals. Like we turn down more people than we accept
Mhm.
because the headaches of like a 1 or 2 day rental, it's not worth the potential headaches that might come.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, brother, I appreciate you coming on sharing all this.
Appreciate you having me.
Hope this was like, have you done podcasts before? Like,
I've done quite a few now actually.
do they go deep on the business, or what do you guys talk about?
This has probably been the deepest,
Okay, good.
which is awesome because I like sharing all the little details of the business. I'm an open book.
And you're starting to teach people how to do this. Like, that's like a new thing for you, right?
Yep.
Okay, where can they find you on social media if they
So-
want to learn more?
Instagram at jcannonbloom. Business Instagram's at Mercy Luxury. They can shoot me a DM on either page, and I'll definitely respond.
All right, well, brother, thank you for coming on. This is a
Thanks for
great
having me.
conversation. Really enjoyed the energy. So,
Awesome.
everybody, have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.